So I'm just on my way to meet David Taylor. He's an architect and structural engineer, and he's a really good friend of mine who has been doing this job for over 40 years now. So he's got a huge amount of experience in the field. Now, I actually met David last year through a Facebook message on a project that we were looking to get into, and I was looking for somebody to give me some advice or some architectural advice on what we could do with the project. And now I'm going to see him today to pitch him a joint venture opportunity, because I'm really hoping that we can work together in a closer capacity going forward, so that both him and me can benefit and we can do some really great projects going forward. So really excited to see him today, and we're also going to take him around the development that he's working on for us. So let's go. What I want to do going forward is, I said to James, I want to start, especially with what's going to happen at the end of this month. You know, I'm waiting for obviously what the government say with regards to the commercial to residential and land development stuff. But I want to start finding more commercial to residential, more land developments. But I want to do it from a perspective where everybody wins. I would like us three to work together to do it. So my thought process is that basically James finds deals, sells. You know, so finds the investors, deals with the investors, sells the deals. You know, that's his job. You and I will find the deals, stack them, etc., etc., etc. And then the money that's made from it, we can do one or two things with it. Either if we make a sourcing fee from it, we split it 3 ways, and it's just your chunk and you do what you want with it. The alternative thing is, if we keep that money back to then invest in future developments. The downside I'm finding at the minute is finding as many of these deals that we need. So we had this conversation a few months ago, and you said if you could find one of these a week, then you're in a completely different job. So it's a case of setting the expectations of what the target is. Obviously, after that conversation previously we had, James said, well, is one a month reasonable to expect that we would find one? And I said, well, I was thinking, you know, I personally will spend a lot of time investing into doing this if I know we're going to do it properly. Because what I don't want, because there's a couple of things I don't want. I don't want to throw a deal at James ad hoc and then him not be able to sell it, because that's amateur deal sourcing, and we don't want to do that. We want to be able to have good deals with good investors that want them. So that's why it needs to be built up on multiple fronts. You know, if you've got the workforce going out, finding, qualifying the deal and making sure that it actually stacks and you can actually do the development, you can put planning in and all of that, then James needs to spend his time focusing on finding people who want to invest. Because then that means that we will almost have a queue of people that are being serviced along the way, that the second we've got a deal, we can sell something like that.
Some months you might find a group of 4, and you just, because of the length of time it takes to do the due diligence, and you might be able to just delay them a week, so you might have 2 a month by delaying them that way.
I would love, in an ideal world, I would love to view a minimum of 1 a week and to have 2 a month qualified. But yeah, so that's my thought process anyway. That's what I want. That's what
I'm definitely up for that idea, because I can do that part of it. I haven't got the time to do Jamie's part, and I haven't got the time to do your bit.
Exactly. So, and that's the thing is, I said to James, what I want to do now is, I said to James, how can we work with David to make sure that we're not spending more on David's time, that David gets paid more as a result of it, and then we end up all potentially doing some cool things and all winning. When you're looking for these kind of sites, you know, what is it you're looking for? That, you know, what is it that you're going out and actively looking for?
Say we're looking for a residential block. It's like looking for one where there's a definite shortage of apartments in the area, but also looking for the brownfield side rather than developing on the nicer side, where, strange enough, you can buy a commercial unit for a lot cheaper than you can buy a residential plot.
Exactly.
And demolish the whole thing.
Where we're looking at, say, like these pubs and, you know, commercial units, offices, stuff like that, to convert, you're saying, well, actually, if there's a requirement for apartments in the area, buy it and knock it down.
Yeah, it's cheaper in the end. You get more footage.
What do you think they're going to do with the rules?
For the moment, as a read, it's going to be a free-for-all.
It sounds like it, doesn't it?
I can't see him actually getting that through. There'll be some amendments, but it'll be done for a short period of time. To get over the current financial situation, there hasn't really been there's been a financial crash, but not a property financial crash at the moment. It's been propped up by the liquidity in the market or the money. In the past, for commercial to residential, you had to convert. But as it's read now, as it reads now, you can knock the commercial property down and build residential. And under permitted development.
So exactly,
which is or by a notification, but it's still we've got to have a good reason. Also, the new rule of being able to build 2 stories on. It's not just commercial properties; it's any property. At the moment, you could have your own semi-detached house, which as it reads, and then you put 2 stories on top of it, which will be odd. You can't see the planners agreeing to it. It'll be a prime obligation. I can't see the planners agreeing to it, but that's how it reads.
Yeah. So basically, something like that then, with like a pub or an office building that just doesn't quite have the right shape to convert it, knocking it down and starting fresh to build again on it is potentially going to be quite easy. And you would just use something like the local plan to make sure. So if we're looking at an office building in an area that they're clearly doing residential development, it's more likely to just pass it anyway. With the new plan.
But there's also he's still potentially keeping some commercial down at the ground floor and building above. It isn't necessarily just doing all residential, but it's just sometimes the footprint of the building doesn't work. So under the new relaxed laws, you'll be able to demolish and rebuild a new shape without too much difficulty.
And the thing is as well, if you convert, so where we are now, we're in the town centre here, is okay. It's better than it has been over the last couple of years, but there's just so much dead space. There's so much, and places in the town centre are just void of people. And you put a residential unit in the middle of a tier 2 town like this, and all of a sudden you're driving football back to it. So then that's going to support businesses coming back as well. What do you think, I suppose my only real concern with this at the minute is, I know that historically when we go into a recession, build prices go down, build costs goes down, which is why people build more, because they build out of the recession. Now, I've been thinking about this, and obviously I am not an expert at this kind of stuff. I read what I read and I know about as much as that. But surely it would make sense that logically, if the planning rules are relaxed and everybody starts to build, then even though we're going into a recession, build costs are going to go up because work is going to be more.
It's a strange scenario where, yes, well, there's a period at the beginning where the wages get hampered by people being scared of the current market. So that wages either stay static or get reduced. At the moment you'll see there's a lot of people who have been coming back off furlough, but they're coming back on a lesser wage because of the short-term worry. Semi-active construction, the wages at the moment they've been quite high, but they will become lower again because as some contractors will bust or just lay people off and run with shorter, smaller teams, it becomes a flood in the market, which then brings the wage costs down. And the biggest part of your construction cost is the wage bill. Same thing with manufacturing. It's all to do with the wages of manufacturing. So materials come down a little bit, but your wage bill comes down as a contractor. You to win work, secure work, the development costs come down. It always has to.
Ah, that's interesting. It's interesting you say that actually. My friend's an electrician and his company's making lots of people redundant. But yet his office where he's based out of, his branch where he's based out of, they're taking on more work, yet they're making people redundant.
Yeah.
And I couldn't quite understand. I kind of understood the logic to a degree, but now that kind of fits in. And
most companies suffer from cash flow, and the cash flow is the wage bill. So if they instantly cut the cash flow by cutting the wage bill, it's a false way of doing it. It's the only way a business can survive.
So this is what I'm thinking of doing with the house. So to start with, you come in, and then obviously you've got, this would be your master sitting room. You know, your really posh lounge area where your family sit and you have Christmas tree. You know, that's the kind of feel. Now, here is the consumer unit is there, and the boiler is here. Okay, and the guy has built a shower unit into it for the mother before they passed away. This now steps down, so this steps down from there, and this is, I'm not sure if it's below the damp course, but it's definitely lower. You know, like older houses that have got the entry that step down to them, it's like that. So straight away, that needs boarding up. In my opinion, that door needs to go. And this needs to become a solitary living room. Then here, what we wanted to do here is, and again, please tell me if you do this and you go, you can't do that because it looks silly. So, in fact, the consumer unit's in here, the boiler's there. The consumer unit's under the stairs and the cupboards. So what I want to do here with this is, we want a toilet downstairs. Because that kind of level of house, because we want to get rid of this from being a toilet. We want to turn this into a utility room now. I'm going to explain to you what we're going to do with that in a minute, but we want to take all the shower and that out of this, and we want to turn it into a utility room. Because it's at the back of it, because we're now going to make it accessible from outside. Well, that's it, by blocking that door. Currently, the only way is outside. It doesn't work to be the toilet, you know, when you've got guests around. So we want to put a toilet here. And then in the toilet room, we want to block that door up there. We want to have a toilet here. And then in the toilet room, have a door which would be to the consumer unit. Can that be done? And then obviously because we've got, the downpipe is here, I think it's there. So then we want to go like this with drains and link into this one now.
That's fine.
Because we're going to rip all the kitchen up anyway and redo the floor. So to send that through there, we thought would be quite easy.
And also you might be able to connect. There might be some existing drains in the kitchen that you can connect to, or something coming on the back.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. So that's my thought process with that. And then in here, we want to open this up even more. So open this wall up even more. So this is just walk straight in. We want to open that up to there. So this is just walk straight in as well. So you're straight into everything then, all in this one area. And then we want to put bifolds right across there. Lock up that door. So we've got bifolds into the conservatory. And then what we want to do with the kitchen, so currently you can just about see that that's the current kitchen layout. We want to put a door there that goes into this, that would now be the utility room. So then it's all out of your kitchen, it's completely out of the way. So you've got your dryer in there, your boiler, all of that in there. And I need to know if we need to raise it up or if it will be okay to stay on the level it's on. So
I'll probably just raise it anyway, just to keep the from walking in and out into the on the doors. You don't really want to step on a door if you can open.
Is it difficult to raise it up?
No, just depends on the floor construction. If it's timber, you can just put new timber on top, timber joist. If it's a solid floor, what I would do is put insulation on to break up the void, and then put a small screen on top of it. Or even insulation, if you want it tiled, you can get a special matting you can put down and then tile on top.
And then we're probably going to brick up this door as well.
Yeah.
Because the whole building's been rendered.
Yeah.
So all this hassle doesn't really cause much issue to it. And then here, the new kitchen layout will go like this. I think that's which way we said we we're going to do it, with an island here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because then you've got your hosting for your dining area, you've got your amazingly large living area there, and then you've got this really nice conservatory you're going to go into. Now conservatory, you're going to keep this door, but brick this door up.
Yeah.
Look good?
Yeah, yeah. We'll just have a look at the
obviously,
how good the conservatory is.
Yeah, I'll show you when we go. Well, this back wall is there's the garage here, and obviously we need to look at the garage. You need to look at it. This is one of the reasons why it would be really nice for you to look at it, because obviously we also want to be looking at this from the perspective of access for our new house at the back of it.
Yeah.
So then when we go upstairs, what we want to do with upstairs now is obviously new bathrooms, keep the existing bathroom and just make it new. And then we're thinking of either ensuite in both or ensuite in one. You know, and where they go, I don't really know, because where the windows are, it probably have to be here, wouldn't it? And here.
Yeah, but because you're rendering all the block work, it's not too difficult to change your window positions somewhere in the room layout.
Okay.
And again, because it's a bathroom, we'd be frosted anyway, so you don't usually have a planning issue.
Well, we wouldn't have a bath, because it'd be an ensuite, wouldn't put a window in it anyway. So, because you just leave it without one, wouldn't you, a little ensuite?
If you, most of the time,
So that's the thought process upstairs. Upstairs is quite straightforward. You'll see there's a big landing space here with potential to potentially go into the attic in the future. But right now, I don't think we need to. When we go and look at it, I'm interested to know your thoughts on the tiles on the roof, because it's not, I'll be honest with you, it's not something I thought about costed in the first place, and now I'm wondering if it's going to affect the valuation.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Well, I've looked. If it depends on the. Is it the small tiles? Is it the?
I can't remember. I can't remember. But I'll show you anyway, and give me your thoughts on it. You know, because initially we thought about trying to do this with the new roof as well, you know, the kind of tiled-like roof.
Yeah.
But then cost, we've got to be careful what we're spending on it versus what it's going to make back.
Yeah. No, it's good. It looked good originally, so
I'm excited.
I'm looking forward to seeing it.
I'm excited. It's going to be a good house. So, right, should we have a little bit of a drive around then?
this would be their back garden.
Back side garden to the orientation of the property.
Okay.
But also they would have all the land all the way to the front.
Yeah.
Which is quite a long. So if you did decide to give this property the whole of the back garden, they still have got quite a large front garden.
Do you think it's going to have much impact from price if we give it to this house or this house?
Not really, because of the size of the garden.
I don't think it's going to impact this one. It'd probably give this one more value than that one, won't it?
Yeah.
So if we give it to that one, I mean, there's a 6-foot greenhouse in that corner that you can't even see. So that just shows the
barbecue.
And then the house would be in that corner there then.
Yes. We could tell, but the issues is we've got obviously property there and there, so we've got a fixed distance. We've got 17 metres or 13 metres, depending on where you're coming up to on the property in that direction. We don't want to. We can go in that direction by addressing the way the windows look and the obscure grades and right almost up to the boundary. And our next day, the property hasn't got an issue that way. Again, it's probably more of a privacy one. But again, in front, we've got a clear access, so we're all out with this property in that position.
So, what did you think to the house then?
Oh, it's good, isn't it?
Brilliant, isn't it?
It's quite nice. All the things that are in there are easy to strip out.
Yeah.
There's not much built in, as in physically built in. You can't take. The kitchen will come down in about 2 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Which is a massive difference.
40. It's 40 odd square meters difference.
Yeah, which is
400 square foot.
Which an average house is 950 square feet.
So it's almost a house bigger.
Yeah.
So you think the £500,000 is just way too low?
Yeah. When it's all done up, yeah. It's got to be. I can't. If they're going for that and they're not that big, and that garden's not that good.
16 square meters the garden.
Yeah, but the garden's not that big. It's on a slope as well. Right?
Well, I measured it from landing site, and it's 16 square meters the garden footage is.
And what I was thinking, knock the garage down, but still give them a shared driveway so they could have a garage in their own back garden if they wanted.
Yeah.
But you can put a garage on the front, in the front garden.
I don't think they'll need the garage because I don't think most people use them now anyway.
No. I've been buying some linen last night for the SA, and I said to myself, I just spent more than I spent for linen for an SA than I spent on my own house. She said it's got better quality, got Egyptian cotton coming. She goes, we need some new bedding. I was just 10-year-old. It's a general thing, isn't it? You spend more on the ones you want to do up because you can get any more value.
Oh, I spent a ridiculous amount on but you start to put things in there that you wouldn't normally put in. You know, tiles that you wouldn't normally put in your house. So then to sort of close then at the minute, basically what we're going to do now is would you be able to have a look at the floor plan and just give me an idea of the changes that you look to make with it, and then
is that drawing to scale?
Is it to scale? No, I just printed it off.
No, but I mean, sorry, is it right proportions of the building?
I would have thought so, yeah.
Okay, I assume it is, and then take it from there, because sometimes with estate agents,
yeah, I would assume it is. If it's not, and you need everything measuring up, let me know and I'll get back in there and do it. And then let me know as soon as you can about these concept drawings. Yeah. Brilliant, I'm excited. So it's been a great meeting. I'll send you across that iPad document for you to have a look at, and then we can make some amendments to that. I'll speak to James this evening and we'll come up with exactly what the sort of plan is going forward, and then I think me and you should find some deals.
Definitely,
Awesome, thank you so much for coming. Appreciate it.
Yeah, cheers.
Guys, as always, I really hope you've enjoyed the video. If you've got any questions or comments for me or David, please drop them in the comments below and let us know, and we'll be sure to answer them. If you want to see anything from me and my journey, I'm going to be vlogging everything I do when it comes to property. So if you have anything you want to see, do let me know, and make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.